Hi, welcome back. Today we'll be talking about Aurelle EC. Aurelle at Tampines, not to be confused with Ori at Toa Payoh or Aurelle at Condo. So a bit of confusing names recently with all the different sounding, similar sounding words, but all different projects. Today we'll be covering Aurelle, ending with LLE at Tampines. We have already covered much of the locations in our previous video, Parktown, but today we're just going to cover briefly about what this project is all about. Especially important for those buyers, right, who are still able to qualify for ECs. So as we all know, EC is almost like a Hokkien we say bao jia, guarantee winner. So if you are still able to qualify for EC and that you are comparing between Parktown and Aurelle, do let us know to find out more about this in-depth discussion to find out whether going for Parktown makes more sense for you or Aurelle makes more sense for you, because everybody is at different life stage, and if you don't mind the waiting time of EC, it's almost like a guaranteed or sure win bet that you can go for as well.
Right, so location-wise, you can say there's four big things that's happening in this area. So the first one is that there will be a lot of HDB which will MOP in the future. So that will be your future buyers that are going to buy into your house when it reaches MOP. Right, so the other big thing is the cross-island line, and that is slated to be ready in around 2030s. And that will increase the connectivity and overall increase the value of the land. Right, third thing that you will know is the Paya Lebar airbase, which is just nearby. When that is ready to leave and all the changes are going to happen there, there'll be a lot of jobs being created, a lot of more housing, right. And thereby, of course, same thing, it will increase the value of all the area around there. And not forgetting the final one is Terminal 5. Now that is a huge one that is upcoming as well, and when that happens, you know it's going to benefit you as well if you are going to own a piece of Aurelle.
Alright, so coming to this particular project, this will be a 14 blocks of 14-story high, right? And total 760 units, TOP estimated about 2028 December, right? So that will also mean that probably if you start shifting in, you wait maybe about 1 or 2 years, maybe the MRT will be earlier, then the MRT will be operational. Also not forgetting the Parktown Mall will also be operational by then. So by then, amenities-wise will be much improved. The lifestyle, the living over there will be much more improved. Right now, if you drive over there, you may feel that everything is still under construction, things are still developing, so it may feel a bit underwhelming. And of course, not forgetting Sim Lian. Sim Lian, I think I personally I brand it as a king of mass market project, because they have a very nice design feel and touch to it, which is very appealing for HDB upgraders and appealing for people who have more practical family needs. So if you go to any Sim Lian project, you'll find that the bedroom size is very well designed. Definitely you can put a queen size bed in all common bedroom. The kitchen is also pretty functional, no odd shape, very efficiently planned. So overall, I would say that Sim Lian has really got the magic formula right that really touches the hearts of a mass market people who are coming into a condo segment, even for their first time. So for people who are still qualified for ECs, same thing. Please reach out to us ASAP when you see this video, because some of us, really when you reach out to us, when you schedule a one-on-one consultation review, is really too late. We can't do much for you. So we do hope that for some of you who are still watching this video, we have our numbers flashed somewhere around the screen. We also have our link that you can fill up your particulars so that we can get in touch with you and get to know you as a deeper level. And from there on, we can give you better advice. Of course, people who know Sim Lian well, you know that recently they have sold Emerald Cartong with very good results, which is very shocking for all of us, even for real estate agents like us. And not forgetting that they have also done Treasure at Tampines in the past, Treasure Crest is also done by them. Okay, so Taufik, what's so interesting about the facilities over here for Aurelle?
Okay, when we are looking at Aurelle itself, I would say you can look at 4 different sections of the whole site plan. Right, the first one I want to bring your attention to will be towards the tennis court. So that is the north side of the project itself. There you can see there's a tennis court, and then there's also like a family pool. So your family can spend time together there, maybe over the weekends or even in the evenings, right?
Ideal for birthday parties, right?
Yes. And there's also function rooms. There are 3 different function rooms. So there's plenty of function room for everyone to use. Although, you know, the booking will be quite...
Families, right?
Yes. Right. Then the second part that I want you to look at will be towards the eastern side of the project, right? So here you have this kind of like the family pavilion, your family barbecue pit area, this is another site where family will come to for their, again, birthday parties, events, or even for festive seasons. So the third location you'll be looking at is towards the internal side of the project, and there you can see this huge 50-meter lap pool, right? So if you like to swim, this is really perfect for you. On the right side of that, you can see there is like a forest deck, there's this water oasis. So this is a more relaxed area where you go to after like a long day, you just want to relax and chill, you might want to go here, right? And the final spot will be this area, which is number 48. You can see there's like a cabana area. So that's where you can go to also relax, maybe have some chill time together and have a drink and stuff like that.
Right.
And last but not least, if you look towards the top left area of the project, there is like a playground area, a lot of forest kind of greenery area. So this is where your kids can go and have fun as well.
The overall project, really, there's a lot of water and a lot of exciting features, especially for families with kids.
Yeah, so they are really catering to families, especially for ECs. I believe they are towards families.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to the floor plan. Wow, I think this really long time ago, 840 is a 2-bedroom. But I think they really managed to put in a 3-bedroom with a proper common bedroom, which is still about 9 square meter. You can put in queen size bed. So the smallest configuration, Aurelle is over here. Aurelle is starting from 840 square feet, 3-bedroom. Right, and looking at this floor plan, right, they even managed to put in a household shelter just tucked away nicely behind the kitchen, right? So, wow, Taufik, what do you think?
Okay, honestly, I feel if you're looking at the square feet itself, right, the square footage is 840 square feet, and talking about a 3-bedroom unit, you might have some considerations and resistance toward it. But then when you look at the floor plan properly, you will realize that actually all the bedrooms are very decently sized. You can fit a queen size bed. The only downside to it, which I personally feel, will be the kitchen, which is slightly smaller. Right. But then of course for us nowadays, some families might not be cooking as much, or you don't do too heavy of a cooking. So this is for families who are that kind of situation.
I think we are moving towards a lifestyle where families cook lesser and lesser at home. Right? So this one may be ideally for reheat. not for a full proper meal. Right? But then again, the developers has done a very nice job to compact everything. So everything that's essential is there. It's just that you're managing it on a tighter space. Right? Moving on to the next layout.
And the next one is 3-bedroom premium. Now, this one you can see a little bit more space in the kitchen. It's slightly longer, right? And you also have the yard area.
Plus a small WC at the back, right?
So for some families, they might use that for the helper's room and all that. So this is something you can go for.
Okay, next we'll have the 3-bedroom plus study at 926 square feet. Right, so the plus point is that you have one more study space, which you can really double up as you can put in a foldable kind of a single bed over there as well, if you want to. Right, you still have a household shelter, you still have a yard and a small WC at the back of the kitchen. So this is something that is more comfortable to people who have maybe 2 kids. Right, they will really need a helper sometimes to have a live-in helper to stay with them. This might be something that they are more comfortable staying in. Right. And then next we have the 4-bedroom compact, which is at 1023 square feet.
Yeah, so for the 4-bedroom compact, you can see again, bedroom sizes are all pretty decent. It's queen size bed, no issues. And the kitchen is also the long-ish kind of layout. It's not the compact.
It's not too small.
Yeah, it's not too small. So it's still doable and decent. And you still have a household shelter plus the WC at the back, plus the yard. Right, and living space is also decent. You don't have something that is too small and something that is too big where you waste a lot of space.
Okay, so moving on, next we have the 4-bedroom flexi. For people who are staying in HDB 5-room flats of the newest DBTO nowadays will be more familiar with this kind of configuration, because the living room is much bigger. It's what I call the landscape type of living room, which you have a space to cover up for a study space if you need it, or if you just want to have a very big living space, you can just leave it as it is, how the developer has presented it to you. As of the time of filming, we have not entered the show flat to see how is it like, but we will imagine the space will be very nicely spanned out and a very decent size for a family to stay. Right, so there's 2 configuration configuration of a 4-bedroom flexi. One is at 1206 square feet, with the other one is at 1195 square feet, right? So the main difference for the 1206 square feet as well as the 1195 square feet 4-bedroom flexi, right, we'll be pointing out will be the kitchen area and the yard. So the 1206 square feet, you have a bit of a more differentiation in terms of the space for the yard and the kitchen. So it will be very helpful for people who appreciate the yard space, right? For the 1195, the yard space is more is slightly smaller, and it's like seems that it will be more part of the kitchen area itself.
The next layout, we have the 4-bedroom premium, 1206 square feet, same like the first 4-bedroom flexi. So here what you can see and notice is that they have a dry kitchen and a wet kitchen separation, right? So that is something which you can have a more premium feel to the house. And if you realize, the difference here is also where you don't have the provision for your study area. But then again, the living room size is pretty huge. So you can actually carve out space for a study room if you do need one for yourself.
I feel that it's the same. It's just that you can carve out the additional space from the living and dining area if you want to as well. Because the dry kitchen area, you can also double it up as a dining space if you want to. If not, you can just put the dining table in the balcony.
Yeah.
Right? Then lastly, we have the 5-bedroom, which is at 1356 square feet. This is a very, very luxurious. So in terms of the 5-bedroom space, same thing, you have a very huge landscape style of living and dining area. So the dining space, easily you put in a 8-seater, no problem. If you want to squeeze in 10, I think shouldn't be an issue as well. You also have a separation of a wet and dry kitchen, so more provisions will be given to you for the 5-bedroom configuration. For the master and junior master, definitely they have their own designated bathroom space. So in total, you have 5 bedrooms plus 3 bathrooms. So the only slightly not so good thing about this particular layout is that for the remaining of the 3 common bedroom, they will be sharing one of the bathroom over there. So if you understand this project well, right, you know that this is actually a harmonized project. So harmonized project, right, some of us, when we look at the layout, we were quite concerned about whether the walls can be rearranged. But looking at the layout right now, right, you can see that a lot of these walls in between, right, they seems to me that they are not load bearing, which also means that, for example, if I want to, like for example, converting a bedroom 3 to become a walk-in wardrobe of the master room, it can be done as well. So this is something that we wish to highlight, that even though this is a harmonized project, some parts of the walls seems to us like it's quite flexible to adjust, which allows you to have more creativity in terms of your renovation and reimagining of the space.
So moving on from the floor plan, over the years, we have actually spoken to a lot of clients and some of you as well, right? The common objections that I can think of, one of it definitely for Aurelle itself will be that it's beside the expressway. So John, what do you think of this objection that we get?
Yeah, I mean, this is something that we can't be avoided because ECs, like it or not, moving forward, it's not going to be in prime area. You can't find EC in Orchard area. You can't find EC in a very nicely located area. So to me, EC that is near MRT is as good as it can get. So for highway facing, I can always draw reference to the past performance of projects like, for example, Blossom Residences over at Bukit Panjang, Fajar. So even the highway facing units, right, their performance is also pretty good. Again, noise is very subjective. So if you're buying for own stay and you are a very light sleeper, even a pin drop, you will be very much disturbed, then probably you want to avoid the highway facing. But the point that we want to bring across is that because of the buffer from the facilities as well as a green buffer from the highway, the noise is somewhat manageable, right? Then of course, if you really want to, you can also install some of the soundproof materials, such as like for example using a heavier curtain, or make your interior rooms to have more carpet so that it will sort of dissipate some of the noise. So noise can be really subjective, but the point the point that we want to bring across is that for past performance of projects that is highway facing, those units are also selling well. People are still staying in it. So we see people accepting highway facing units as well.
Right, so the next objection I would say will be the price. Now, we have seen that the last EC launch in Tampines will be Tenet. That was about 3 years ago, and we saw it about 1.3k plus PSF. And now we are expecting Aurelle to be around 1.6k plus PSF. So how about this pricing? What do you think will be the acceptance like from buyers?
I mean, the bus has already gone. train has already moved on. So people who missed out Tenet, I'm so sorry that you have to buy Aurelle at this price point. But look at it this way: if you don't look at Aurelle, or you have been pondering about entering Aurelle, the next two plot over at Jalan Loyang Besar, which is at Pasir Ris, as well as Tampines West, the land cost or the land secured cost by the developer is at a much higher price. So we have already noticed the trend of EC securing at a higher and higher price point. So which also translate that we have to accept that price is gradually moving upwards. So yes, Tenet, people who got it, congratulations, you bought it at a slightly lower price. For Aurelle, the plus point is that you are slightly nearer to the MRT station. So got to pay a premium for that lah, for walking a shorter distance. And of course, you are nearer towards the mall as well, nearer towards the MRT station itself. So price is something that we have to accept, like it or not. If you choose to delay it further, a few more years, we may be expecting even some of the ECs will be hitting close to 1,800 per square feet in the near future as well.
Yeah, so moving on that topic where you mentioned about MRT, so some of our viewers out there might not be too familiar with Tampines North area, and you might think that there won't be any amenities around this area. So are there any upcoming places around there that might change their mindset about our so-called Ulu spot in this Tampines North?
So as of now, really there isn't much amenities over there other than a lot of HDBs, right? People who are staying there, it's always like a brand new township. Just like I bring examples of Canberra. When Canberra was first being built up, the first few people who stay in it, they are also having the concern of like, oh, not enough coffee shop, not enough supermarket. But now if you go down to places over at Canberra, it's a very lively township by itself already. And that brings about the attention of the first two ECs over at Canberra, which is a Brownstone and Visionaire. Right, those people who going earlier, they are able to buy in at a much lower price point. Yes, of course, they so-called suffered in the period of years whereby they do not have that immediate convenience of amenities. But when it's time for them to MOP and for them to move on to their next place, they will be enjoying a very upside in terms of a more established township really. So buy when it's still developing, sell when it's developed, more developed, so to speak.
Right, so one of the final objections that I would like to bring up will be the size. So a lot of buyers, when they look at the current new launches or even the ECs, then they will always mention about size. Like the current size is smaller than what they see 5-10 years ago. Yeah, so what can you share with our viewers about these sizing objections?
Right, so I will say that things has become more compact. So the developers are also getting more and more creative, I would say. On one hand, they would need to make sure that their final product is appealing to end users. On the other, they have to balance between the cost that they're acquiring the land and the final price that they'll be selling to the end consumer. So I would say that now we have to accept that our wall are slowly shifting in closer and closer. So last time you can have 65-inch TV, no problem, you put it on the wall. But now probably you have to accept a 45-inch and just so-called live with it. But again, I would say that in terms of lifestyle-wise, right, I would say that the essentials are still there. That means, to me, the most basic thing is that the bedroom must be able to fit in a queen-size bed. The kitchen must be somewhat enclosable and must have open ventilation. That means still have air flowing through. And finally, I think a condo, you must have a balcony because if you don't have balcony, then you tell people you stay condo, it doesn't feel like condo. So to me, these are the three basic things. Queen size bed in common room, master room, of course you can have queen size bed, no problem. Semi-enclosed or enclosable kitchen with open ventilation, as well as a balcony. These will be the main criteria that I think it's a decent, functional living family should have.
Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the financing. As we all know, there's the MSR that is back on when you're buying an EC, right? So at most, the loan that you are getting is about probably 900 to 1 million, right? And now prices are starting way beyond that. So how are the buyers going to finance their house?
So that's why sometimes we joke among ourselves in a property agent. We say that the real rich people are the EC buyers sometimes because they have to fork out higher down payment, right? They have to prepare more cash and CPF to fork out to plan for a purchase for EC. But of course, there are solutions to that, right? So sometimes we can do bridging loan, and sometimes we can also take up the deferred payment scheme. But for the length of our video, I think it's getting too long already. We leave all this solution solving or problem solving towards our consultation. So if yourself you have exceeded your income slightly a little bit, please reach out to us. We may still be able to help you. Likewise, if you think that you're unsure about the EC procedures, please reach out to us, because I think EC is really a sure win. That means when you buy, as long as the time is on your side, you will be able to enjoy a favorable upside when you MOP and sell in the future. But right now, the problem is that a lot of people, they are unsure whether they are able to qualify for it, or unsure whether they are able to plan for their next purchase. Sometimes even especially for HDB upgraders, they might be thinking, hey, do I need to sell first to prepare my funds, or can I just purchase the EC first, then wait for the EC to be TOP, then I sell away my HDB? So there are really a lot of complexity, a lot of nitty-gritty details that we can only go through with you when we meet up with you in one-on-one consultation. So again, if you have considerations to look at ECs, be it Aurelle or in the future, please let us know, and I'm always happy to share with you more in depth during our one-on-one meet.
Alright, with that, we've come to the end of the videos. As always, help us like, comment on this video and share your thoughts. And subscribe to the channel so you can keep updated to our next upcoming videos on all the new launches that are coming in Singapore. Right, and as always, the links are in the description, so check out the links and fill it up so that we can meet up for a one-to-one consultation. And we'll see you in the next video.
See you.